All right, welcome back, fellow coders, to this next lesson. In this one, I apologize, but we're going to have to dive back into dates. So the local date time data that we had brought in from the mock API, there was one where I was getting an error due to a parsing error, and I said, oh, well, the data is wrong coming in, and therefore I just need to fix the data coming in. And then, of course, the parsing data or parsing logic was working again, and it was around, I believe it was this record. So, but now when I took a look at the actual API, like the live data coming in from the API, I noticed that whenever there are 2 digits for the hour, it comes in like that. So it comes in without a space between the at and then the start of the time. So we're going to have to account for that. So basically, I'm going to save this, and I'm going to run. And sorry, I have a bit of a cold still, so you have to deal with my slightly congested sound. So we're going to have to deal with the parsing error. So when we start up the server here, it's going to try to parse the data, and we're going to run into this date time parse exception, which is expected because it can't parse this. So unfortunately, that's the way the data is coming in, and I could probably reach out to, if this were the real world, which it is, actually, you'd reach out to the people, the software developers who are sending the data incorrectly and let them know that it's incorrect. So I could reach out to it's the founder, I know the CEO of this company, of Course Report, so I could reach out to them and say, hey, you guys have a problem here. However, even if the CEO were to get in touch with their team and get them to fix it and blah, 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 it's probably still going to take a while, right? So I'll let her know. I'll say, hey, there's a problem here. They'll fix it. So I'll have to make my code, in the meantime, work for both scenarios, which I don't think there's a problem with that. I think it just makes it a little bit more robust. Let's use that word. So we need to look at the custom local date time deserializer, because it's looking at this pattern, right? So where is it that it's in datetime formatter that it fails, but does it, yeah, here. Okay, so there's the local datetime parse with the formatter that we're passing in, and this, we're returning this, and this is where it fails. So since we know this is where it fails, I'm going to pull this out of the return, right? And I'm going to assign this to a variable. We'll call it, I don't know, parsed date time. Now, this could fail, right? So we'll say return parse date time, but since we know that this could fail, we need to wrap this in a try catch, right? That's what try catches are all about. Can I do this easily with this, what you call it? Can I generate a try catch? Generate. See, I never know with, again, I'm used to Eclipse and its functionality. You can do a thing to generate the try catch for you. Oh man. Again, everyone raves and rants about how awesome IntelliJ is, and sure, it's okay. I guess I prefer what I know, and what I know is Eclipse. But anyway, okay, so we catch the datetime parse exception, and basically what we're going to do is, if there is an error specifically with a datetime parse exception, okay, we're not catching any exception, any and all exceptions, just the datetime parsing. So if it didn't work, then we're going to try to parse it again with a different formatter, okay? So essentially we're going to do a datetime parse, and I guess we could declare a different formatter. And I don't love... Anyway, we'll just have to do another one. Formatter, again, 2? That's a terrible name. Formatter, I guess formatter 2. I don't know what other name to give it for now, and I don't want to get bogged down with naming. There's probably better names here, like original format and then like messed up format or something. I don't know. So basically, we'll just do this, right? That's the format that's coming in, and then we'll use formatter 2 to parse it the second time around. Now, I would like to assign it to the parsed date time here. As you can see, it can't see this parsed date time here because it's only the parsed date time is only being declared in the scope now of the try block, right? Basically what I have highlighted, that's the scope of the local date time variable here that we have declared. So it can't see it, right? It's declared here, but it can't see it out here. So we need to move the scope of the declaration of the variable up here. We'll set it equal to null, and then we won't declare it again. We will assign a value to it, and we will, again, assign a value to it here. Right, so we'll declare it as null, and then either it's going to hit here or here. Either way, it's going to try to assign a value to it, and then it should have a value here. Now, if there's another parsing exception here, it's still going to throw that exception, right? It's still going to throw an error, and I'm not sure what we could do there, right? If it fails to parse 2 times with our 2 variations, then what should we do? So those are the exceptional cases where, ideally I probably would like it to send an email to me saying, hey, there's something wrong, I can't parse the data, look into this, or something like that. So let's reboot the server and see now it's coming in properly. So it is properly parsing the date, which is right where? Where's the date that it... Oh, is it? Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4 records. Oh yeah, this one, 22 o'clock is 10 p.m. So there's 4 records. Now let me just double check in the database that there are 4 records. Yes, so it is parsing all 4. Fantastic. So yeah, a little detour there from our normally scheduled programming to oh, pun intended, to fix this, right? So fair enough. That's the name of the game. I'm glad I caught it now, as opposed to it catastrophically crashing once it's live, and me wondering why it's not working. And anyway, so I'm definitely gonna have to have some period of time where once I've released the code and I'm actually using the real code, that I double check that everything still is working as expected. So in the next video, what we're gonna do is get back into the service and start to look into this logic, right? I need to start thinking about how are we going to handle the situation where we need to decide whether or not to post a message to Slack, right? So sometimes the lead will be a complete duplicate and it had just come in and we need to completely ignore it. And sometimes it might come in a second time a little bit later, and that's where we need to start to define, well, what does a little bit later mean, right? And if the lead comes in again a little bit later, then maybe we have to post a modified message and to let our team know, hey, this person seems to be, trying to show interest in our program again a second time. So that's something that we're gonna have to take a look at. So yeah, we'll tackle that in the next one.